Every year, major attractions like the Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore draw huge crowds. A lot of folks think those pale in comparison to a spectacular train layout in New Jersey.
Sometimes all you hear from a layout are train noises. Well, not here. This New Jersey attraction is different. This, all of this, and this, and this is Northlandz.
In the heart of Northlandz, and on the tour, people will pass through it 4 different times. We have our theater pipe organ. It's a 5-manual, partially Wurlitzer hybrid. These are organs that played in the 20s to support the silent films. It's more of an attraction than we thought it would be. And we have different professionals playing throughout the week. I'm also a professional musician. I play a couple days. And it's a pretty neat attraction. It's a pretty neat part of the place. People like it.
A layout this huge doesn't just happen overnight. It's more like a kind of evolution.
The history behind Northlandz, my wife and I in 1972 bought a couple acres of land, few acres of land nearby, built a house, and the basement was for the trains. And over the next 18 years, we added 5 basements onto the side of the basement all the way out. And it used to take 80 men to run the old railroad. We used to open it 2 weekends a year to the public. Proceeds went to local charities. And from all of that, we learned how to do Northlandz from the experience from that. So in 1990, we decided to tear it down. And we bought this land on Highway 202 here, designed and built the building, and started all over again.
Before this new version was built, all the plans were drawn up. Bruce says the key was having a solid plan, which included some major league raw numbers.
About 40,000 feet of track. There's a couple 100,000 pounds of plaster to make all the mountains and rock work. There's enough lumber inside the building to support everything to build about 42 large houses. We run currently about 115 trains at one time. That'll eventually grow to about 130. We only run probably about 1,300 cars. The amount of trees in Northlandz is around a couple 100,000. They're not counted specifically. That's a rough guess. It's the lichen representation in the mountains, and then other trees are scratch built. There's a few thousand that are scratch built, and a lot of them are woodland scenic trees. With all levels and so forth, the building was a 52,000 square foot building. The layout for Northlandz was every square inch was designed out completely before we started. And had a stack of papers about 4 feet high with all the design plans. There's a lifetime of work, even though it looks finished, and basically it is finished, but there's a lifetime of work on major projects to be done in here. And if the finances are there, we hope to triple the building the next year or two. And then we'll have 3 different shows, and we'll go much higher so we can do the Swiss Alps and the Himalayas, things like that. The amount of people we get here in a given year to Northlandz is somewhere between 125 and 150,000. Some years we've had more. Well, the control center, this is where we run the currently 115 trains from. And we have TV monitors on most of the system, plus all our meters and lights that tell us what's going on with the trains. Plus we have spotters walking around all the time.
Unlike a lot of layouts, the action here doesn't stop at the door.
Outside we have a terrific outdoor train ride with a 3/4 size train that's for big people as well as little, a 3-foot gauge. Leaves our station, goes through our tunnel, out along the river, back through the woods, over the big bridge, back to the station. It's a pretty neat little ride.
There are many reasons to come, and, according to Bruce, many reasons to spend some time just soaking it all in.
The breathtaking scenery is probably what catches most people. You know, the 3.5-story mountains, the big canyons. We have a lot of funny things that some of the purists may not like, but we have a toothpick farm, the world's only toothpick farm. We have a mile-high miniature golf course. We have Grandma's Pit, where they had to dig around her house to make this quarry because she wouldn't sell. We have a tremendous amount of industrial buildings, all scratch-built. A lot of people are fascinated by the bridges. Some are 30 and 40 feet long in HO scale.